Link engaged.
Welcome back to the TeamSpeak Team Liquid StarCraft 2 competition. I am djWHEAT. Joining me as always is Chill. And Chill, we've got game 2 here. It's on Lost Temple. And let's just get to the countdown, then we'll talk about what greatness we see here as we have close positions once again. So counting it down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And yeah, we've got Nerchio, our quote-unquote random player, but now race picking from round to 8 on, is spawning as the Zerg in the 9 o'clock position. His opponent, Envious, as the pink Terran, spawning in the 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock position, whatever. It depends on how you read the clock. So we saw very, very good control of economy. Once again, Nerchio going to have this opportunity to use his Overlord here, possibly get a quick peek at the Terran army. Terran did not scout for that Overlord early on, which is
right.
You know, it can be crucial. It could save you a lot of time. Imagine if you would have had that bunker push there a little bit earlier. Might not have, or might have been much more effective. So I'm really going to be curious to watch Nerchio once again going with 10 Overlord. So he says, forget about the math. 10 Overlord it is, and yeah.
And once again, just driving his Overlord just into vision of the command center, then turning around. So Envious is not aware that he's at close positions, and that's something everyone should put into their playbook when they're playing as a Zerg player. You always scout for the Overlord with a worker, and anyone who comes from a Brood War background that was competitive in Brood War will always do that on map. You know, 4-player maps where one position is close by air, they'll always check for that Overlord. As you're saying, in that Metalopolis game, if the bunker block came 5 or 10 seconds earlier, and also the Reaper, when it first came out, it went back to kill the scouting Zergling. Well, if Envious was aware that they were close positions, he may have not gone back. He may have instead continued to attack and may have actually broken the natural expansion.
He is going to move in with this Overlord yet again and just check things out, see if there's anything goofy. He did spot that there was a gas down. So
yeah, really nice.
Yeah, gets a little bit more intel. So very meticulous player. May not know a lot about him, but I would say from this point, probably a guy that you'd want to at least know his name. And we are going to see this SCV. Well, it looks like he did go ahead and was found. Oh, manages to get the bunker down on top of the expansion. It would have been fallen right in time with where he went last time. And he's going to try to complete this, but the SCV's got to be careful or else he'll get taken out.
Yeah, he's just going to put a little more life on it, and it's difficult to deal with the SCV when it's dancing back and forth and jumping around. Now some Ling's out, so that bunker's going to force get canceled, but delaying this expansion, those full 30 seconds, really annoying for the Zerg player, and actually more delay going on here. And looks like Zerg has decided to respond by putting down a road. Engineering Bay actually gets put down at the natural, so the expansion is very greatly delayed. And look at this, yet another Reaper is coming out, headed straight into the Zerg's main base.
I like that. I mean, especially when you can get that big delay off. We'll see how he does here, because we do not have it down yet. He's decided to not even go ahead and go for it. You see this Reaper is going to go over here and check and go, oh, well, then I really delayed this thing big time. Meanwhile, we do have a Roach Warren down, and we're going to get a couple hits on there on the Reaper from the Queen. But those Zerglings moved out. They're actually going to get this SCV building the command center. Oh, so close. But he does stop the command center. Reaper is going to pop down, and they might be able to stop this. No, not going to happen. Reaper will also take them out. So tit for tat right there, although he doesn't have his hatchery down yet. This command center is now just idle in building, and another SCV has to come down here and take care of things. Now drone going up, just waiting for 300 minerals so he can drop that hatchery.
And if we look at the Zerg base, he's just spawned 7 roaches and give them a little hello as the scan greets them coming out of their cocoons there. And this is, I'm a little bit nervous for Envious here. What does he have? He's got a Marauder and a bunker going up. And, you know, Marauders are kind of the soft counter to roaches, but not in the numbers like 7 against 1. Reapers do not do anything, and Envious responding with Yop.
Yeah.
Not too sure what that is, but bunker going up. Looks like Envious may have to cancel his natural expansion. I feel like he's got no other choice here. Trying to put a bunker up at just above the ramp. Roaches move in, take out that SCV, and now driving straight up the ramp, trying to go for the killing blow here. Maybe not the greatest move. 1 Roach already down, and SCV's getting taken out here. Harvester count shows 2 SCVs, 3 SCVs, 4 SCVs already lost for Envious. Good God, this attack is being successful for Nerchio, and he actually breaks the supply depot, and that's actually going to supply cap, but the bunker goes up, so he's not going to die from this attack. Nerchio drives the roaches in, and has he taken his expansion yet? No, he actually did not kill the natural expansion command center, and has not taken his own command center, and 2 Reapers flying in, killing some drones, getting a lot of drone kills there, actually, as the roaches come in to try to clean up those Reapers. So one Reaper allowed to live with his life. Apparently Zerg don't kill corporals.
That was pretty crazy, actually putting the Terran Envious at a fairly deep economic disadvantage there, at least momentarily. This command center, the longest building command center in the history of StarCraft 2. But that's been like what has been so interesting about this matchup is these two really going back and forth exactly for that. Now, he gave up 7 roaches, but he did do quite a bit of damage there, caused a lot of buildings to be canceled, took out a supply depot, temporary blocking our opponent. He's not going to get this up that quickly. The orbital's coming up late for less scans, etc. So, you know, I think that it was a fairly even exchange, and you almost got to say that they're about going to be at even again.
I actually think in this position Zerg is ahead, and I'll tell you why I feel that way, because Zerg has a lot of scouting. We can see he controls his Zelnaga. Yeah. He's got a lot of overlords around. He can see when Terran is going to come. So he's going to feel comfortable just pumping out a lot of drones. And if we look at the harvesters, he's actually at 20 workers as opposed to 14. And now mules are going to make up for that, but you can't overcome just a pure harvester differential like that. And I feel like Zerg is just going to churn out a bunch of drones. Now the disparity is getting even bigger. 24 against 16. So he's just got to live the next timing attack that Envious puts forward, and it'll probably be laughing. He's even got the 12 o'clock expansion going up. And if we look at the production tab to see what Zerg's got going on, a lot of research, metabolic boosts, again, that 3rd hatchery going on. And Terran is just waiting for Stim. He may move out after Stim, but not too big of an army to deal with at this point.
No, not incredibly huge, but he does also have that Baneling's Nest about ready to finish too, and that would look very similar in concept to what he went with in game number 1. Now the question is what kind of army comp do we have over on the Terran, and it looks like he will continue. In fact, you're right, he is definitely behind. At this point, he had his 3rd barracks down. He was definitely having a much healthier unit output. And he's going to get tanks a lot later too. And the supply block seemed to have done a huge amount of damage. You could see that he actually had to put additional on there just to get out of that supply block. He's just now grabbing a 2nd gas, and there's only a few SCVs over here at this expansion. Meanwhile, this expansion for the Zerg is now up, and he will drone that up as much as he can. Got some Zergling and some Banelings over here. A few roaches out, but he's at the, I want to see how many, about how many larvae we have here, because it does look like he could pump out quite a few units if he wanted to, but he's just continuing to drone up.
So this is Terran's timing here. Very marine heavy army with a few marauders. Zerg has a lot of Banelings. Does he have the centrifugal hooks? He does not, as he doesn't even have a layer. So this is going to be a bit of an uncomfortable spot. Terran could really micro well against these Banelings. We're going to have to see the Reaper giving high ground vision. That gets taken out. And looks like the Terran attack. Stim going off. Now he's got to focus in, get a lot done with the Stimmed army, taking out 1 Baneling, moving back and forth, taking out more Banelings, and the roaches on the high ground. Scan actually going off so you can get vision up there. Now the drone's being pulled to give the Banelings a bit of a chance, and the Banelings tag a bunch of Marines. Marauders taking the brunt of the damage, but a few Marines in the back healing a lot. Roach is going to get out and just clean that up. Let's look at the income tab to see how much was lost. Still 37 workers against 29. Terran really needs to start pumping out those workers. You really can support about 5 barracks off 2 bases if they're fully saturated, and we can see he's struggling a little bit to get his infrastructure up and continue pumping off just 3 barracks. So really needs to get that worker count higher. It's 40 against 31 still. I'm going to be checking that all game because that's very telling in the Zerg versus Terran matchup.
Well, and having this 3rd base up that right now doesn't look like it's going to get scouted anytime soon is a little scary too. Now the Terran might move forward off a creep here. There's a few Marines, but he's going to quickly move away out of position, and he is going to see them getting vision of it. Oh, he split the army in 2, and he might be able to roll in here. This army is a bit out of position. Might get another Overlord as well.
And all Marines now, no Marauders in this composition. Baneling's coming in. Again, Baneling speed not even started. Marines going in, getting a lot of drones. And here come the Zerglings to try to deal with this. Marines getting on the ramp. They could get sandwiched here as the Zerglings come into flank with the Banelings coming in the back. The Marines not going to be able to do too much now. Speedling's going to come in and clean that all up. So not too much damage done there by Terran. He's trying to claw his way back into the Harvester count, getting closer with every attack, but he gave up a lot of map control and a lot of his army composition there. If Zerg is smart, he will not attack here, continue with his upgrades, possibly dropping an evolution chamber, getting carapace upgrades, or moving towards, he can even get a Nidus network or Overlord speed and Overlord drop, some way to break the Terran, but looks like he has attacking on his mind. Is he moving forward? No, he pulls back. That's always the keynote of a strong Zerg or any race player, is the willingness to retreat. That's something you don't see too much in lower level players, but something you always see at the highest level. So I'm really happy to see Nerchio retreat there and continue to work on his economy.
Yeah, he probably could have done it with a few less units, but he looks like he's going to be pretty content to just sit here and try to reverse roles from the Terran and get his own little contain here. As we've got more Overlords moving out and just continued production. We've got another hatchery going down, just completely trying to devastate this side of the map. And here we do have a drop, so a scan must have revealed this location. Medivac moving over. I believe a Marine was dropped back here too to take care of that Overlord. But the army is moving. He did see it thanks to the Overlords, but has no way to really hit that air other than that one Queen is just trying to be there for the jettison of the units. We'll try to do it again. And the good thing about this is, although he might not be killing a whole lot, Envious getting a lot of good information that he needs.
And you know what I just realized is that our Zerg player Nerchio doesn't have anything that really hits air. No Spire, no drop. So if he actually gets this 16-minute cliff off here, which it looks like he will, as he's sieging up there, that's going to be devastating. But the Roach is actually moving in, and the Overlord gets taken out. Now Vision is taken away from our Zerg player, and the Terran siege tank just going to work on this natural expansion.
Another drop also in the main base still. Yeah, Queen got taken out. We're going to have another Overlord getting taken down, and once again, he'll cleanly get away. And you're right. Now, we do have Ventral Sacks being researched, potentially to get units up there and take care of things. We're going to try to go after him one more time, and he did get the siege tank. Oh, nicely done.
So close. And, I mean, the hatchery just took a ton of damage there, already at half life, so a little bit more, and it would have been cleaned up. Now trying to take out Overlords is our Terran player, Envious, loading up, going to drop on, no, he's just going to continue to retreat. And this is what happens when you try to play against Zerg as just a macro match. It's often really difficult. You kind of have to pick away at them with these Medivac drops. So I'm really liking how Envious is playing this match. He can continue to drop back and forth, and then look to roll out with a huge army. Supplies showing that Zerg is in a bit of an advantage, but nothing like what we saw in Game 1.
Oh, yeah, I think we're going to see something cool here. I think the Ventral Sacks are going to finish, and he may go for a drop. But at the same time, we do have an army moving out here for Envious, and he does look like he's committing. Now, he made a bunch of Banes over here. Well, we'll find out if he's going to load up and maybe make an attack here on the base, or if he's just going to wait here for the next army to come in. But it seems to me like if he could get in the back, most of the army is either here working on this gold, not inside the base at all. So a big Baneling drop inside of the base here in the main could be freaking devastating. We've got a few tanks sieged up here at the front. And did they load up? Where'd all the units go? Okay, up here. Oh, I see. Another Medivac harassing.
Yeah, we got a Medivac at the 12 o'clock, and we've got those few Marines are actually still at the 9 o'clock natural. So just sitting there, waiting. I'm waiting for all the Overlords to really load up, and I'm really interested to see if he's going to go for the Zerg Doom drop, as we've got another drop at the 9 o'clock loading back into the Medivac, dropping back on the high ground. Being really, really annoying with that is Envious, and actually he can pick off some drones from that high ground. So as I was saying, I'm interested to see if we're going to see the Zerg Doom drop, or if he's going to load Banelings and go for a big bust where he drops Banelings from above. That's a tactic that we saw in GSL 1, but it hasn't really been exploited to its fullest yet, I think. And really just waiting to see how Nerchio wants to play this out. And these 3 Marines at the Zerg Natural are really, they've completely shut down mining.
Yeah, they have, and he's lucky he had the other 2 bases going up. We have him now moving over to this side. We have an army moving over
Oh
here,
my
and we
God.
have a ton of Banes inside this right here. He could literally just drop on the top of there and then bring in his whole thing. Oh my God, this is going to be devastating. In come the Overlord. Siege tanks going up left and right. Baneling's being dropped. Marines trying to micro all the way to the back, and there's the drop. As huge damage is done, they'll be able to go ahead and, but look at that. Siege tanks doing some nice damage there. They're all done. They will clean up these on the floor, but there are a couple of high ground siege tanks that will also need to be taken out. And look at that. He completely wipes out that Terran army, but how quickly will he rebuild his own?
I can't believe Terran held that. I've never seen a Terran position broken that cleanly. Now coming back to kill those 3 Marines, one getting away with its life. I'm interested to see the supplies here. So we've got Zerg at 88. Terran actually at 105. That's very surprising. Terran has a gold base up with a planetary fortress. He's got a reasonable amount of production that he's keeping up with. What are his upgrades? He's at 1-1 on his infantry units. So this could be the makings of a comeback. He's doing really well with these Medivacs. There's one at the 12 o'clock natural wheat, and there's one at the 9 o'clock natural. Just these Marines on the high ground being so annoying. Nerchio would almost do well to just invest in a Spire and get a few Mutalisks to clean that up.
Well, he's got ventral sacks now, so all he has to do is literally load up a couple roaches and put them up there too. You know, he had a couple roaches over here at the 2 o'clock position that did stop a command center from going down. They're now at the natural of that particular location. But that could be an easy solution to that, as once again, now finally we'll get a surround, but oh my God, the Medivac just comes back in, interrupting mining like crazy. Now this Marine is about ready to take out this hatchery as well. So the Zerg, while he did have a bit, look at this, we could have a drop here, and he is going to meet at the gold here of the Terran.
Yeah. Here we go, dropping 1, 2, 3, 4.
We got them all out.
He needed just one more to completely wipe that out. He gets a turret, and that's going to open the door for further drops. We've got a drop in the main base of Zerg. 2 tanks sieging up, 3 Medivacs, so a lot of Marines. They're going to take up the lair almost instantly before the Zerg army can reinforce. We've got a lot of Banelings and Roaches in this army, and a few Zerglings to give support. So here we go, moving in. Baneling's going to try to take out. He's going to load up. Baneling's got a few big hits there, taking a lot out, but Terran has done the damage, going to fly away. I really, really cannot emphasize how much I am enjoying how Envious is playing this match in game number 2.
I agree. This has been a highly entertaining match. Now, a couple things to note. The pool also went down in that attack. So it looks like Zerg is almost putting himself in a, oh my God, now I feel like I got to attack sort of a mode. We do have a planetary fortress over here with a couple more missile turrets reinforcing. There is most of the army right here. If you take a look at things, 164 to 95. And it's just mind-boggling to think that the Zerg is that behind right now, but he is. And Nerchio saying pro micro once again, as it looks like he continues to harass up there. On the,
I think Nerchio is actually just going to go for a bust on the gold. He's making a lot of Banelings. I think he's just going to try to take out the planetary.
That's going to put him behind even more.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like he's going to do this and then be completely broken. He's now scouting the 3 o'clock. Unless he's waiting for Terran to move out and counter. But Terran is like the most patient Terran I've ever seen. Just, taking his time with the tanks, pushing forward really slowly. And Nerchio isn't taking full advantage of that by taking another expansion. Now Terran's going to push out to the golds and probably siege up, and that's going to shut down any sort of Baneling play.
Oh my God, but this army could come in from the back complete. Oh my God. Oh, they're going to see. Oh my God, no, the Zerg is going to frickin' die. A horrible death. Oh my God, in a totally horrible position. Oh wow. yeah, not even a GG. Oh my God, that was actually an awesome game. Awesome game. Look at this one Marine. Give that guy a medal, dude.
Seriously.
27 kills on a Marine, a commander. Like, that was really, really impressive micro there on the cliff. Nerchio has left the game, man. Holy mackerel, that was crazy.
And crazy. When you kind of get in those games where someone's just needling you down with one little Marine, and it's just driving you crazy. I feel like Nerchio was ahead going into the mid game, and really, if we replay that game 10 times, he's probably going to win the game, at least 8 of them, if he deals with the Marines. So Envious, like, big congratulations to him for taking that game. That was really impressive to just grind down a Zerg like that while playing defensively at his natural, especially after being broken with those Baneling drops. Really
Yeah,
impressive.
now let me ask you real quick before we wrap this game up and go on to game number 3. Remember, the Zerg not only went with that pretty early roach rush, but then had that second attack that he went for, where he basically lost most of his units there. Do you think that if he would have held off and not thrown away all those units on that second attack, he probably would have taken that game?
I think the second attack was fine. I think he probably lost more than the Terran, but he had 4 bases, he had map control. When you're ahead, it's really advantageous to trade units, trade complete armies, especially as a Zerg player, you can remake them. So I like that maneuver from him. He really just needed to get a Spire or get a Hydra or get something that hit air and deal with those Marines, and then just really focus on his economy, maybe get out something high-tech like Infestors or Ultralisk to deal with the siege tanks. But I think that attack was fine. The one thing I'm not too sure about, I think he could have killed the natural expansion with the roaches. That's what I would have done. Although he killed a lot of SCVs, so it's kind of a coin toss in that
Regard.